Well, hey everyone, welcome to the Business Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Jess Cassidy, and today we have a special guest with us. We have Kristen Santamaria. So let's get started. So today we have Kristen Santamaria joining us. She is one of the two attorney co-founders of Dotted Lines, where she and her best friend, Kelly, help coaches and other online entrepreneurs get confident, have a peace of mind with a comprehensive legal protection strategy. Kristen has over a decade of legal experience and started her career working at a large international law firm, where she helped entrepreneurs ranging from small startups to Fortune 100 companies draft their contracts and protect their businesses. She now loves serving the cause of coaches and other online entrepreneurs through legal contract templates and legal education so that they can grow their reach and amplify their impact. So welcome to the show, Kristen. I'm so excited to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Jess. I've been really looking forward to chatting with you today.
Yes, I'm so excited because this is such a unique kind of topic that people don't really talk about, especially on podcasts or online platforms, I think. So, before we start talking about why everybody needs your services and all of that stuff, can you just tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are? What led you from working with Fortune 500 companies to helping all the amazing online entrepreneurs that you do today?
Yes, I would love to share a little more. I feel like I'm always interested to hear entrepreneurs' stories because most of us have a very, I think interesting way we got to be where we are because it's a little bit of an unconventional path, I'd say, to be an entrepreneur or a coach. Like you mentioned, I worked at a large international law firm for many, many years, really helping different types of entrepreneurs, but entrepreneurs with a lot of the same things we do here at Dotted Lines. But after working there for several years, I really just ran into my own slew of health issues. My husband and I went through a really difficult secondary infertility journey. And eventually I thought, let me kind of look into this whole health and wellness thing. Maybe I should work with a coach. Maybe I should just kind of tick this box off and make sure, that I've, doing what I'm supposed to be doing there at least. And, my whole life was changed based on that experience. My health was changed. My husband's autoimmune condition went into remission. We have a healthy little 1.5-year-old, second baby girl now. So it really just kind of introduced me to the world of coaching. And during that time, I, worked with a registered dietitian. I worked with a health coach. I took courses from different types of coaches. I even worked with a career coach at that time. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, kind of like a, quarter life crisis or something like that. So, really just introduced me to this amazing world of coaches and health and wellness professionals. And I really decided I wanted to kind of help this cause in some way. And eventually realized the best way for me to do that was through using my legal skills and my legal education to help these type of coaches get legally protected, because there are a lot of very, nuanced things about this niche that people need to know when they run these kind of businesses. And there just wasn't a lot of accessible, affordable legal protection available for them. It's really costly to go hire a lawyer to draft everything from you for scratch. And, kind of also you need an attorney who understands the industry, right? And so I just realized there's this huge gap, and I reached out to my best friend, like you mentioned. She's been my best friend since the first grade, actually, and we worked at the same large law firm together for many years, to form Dotted Lines. And so, like you mentioned, we just absolutely love serving this space. I'm super passionate about it because I've seen kind of the transformation that can come from working with different coaches, and I've had the pleasure of working with many of them over the course of the past few years. And so we just love serving the space and love kind of seeing entrepreneurs get really confident about their business legal protection, because I think that can be just a huge question mark and just obviously something that a lot of people are really unsure of, when it comes to getting their business up and running.
Yes, absolutely. And also, I think like it's just something that people don't think about, especially if they don't have a brick and mortar. I think that, they don't even realize the very basic legal protection that they need that you guys help with.
Yes, absolutely. And it's totally understandable because, a lot of us had worked at big corporations or for other jobs where they just took care of all this for you. They did the marketing, they did the sales, they set up legal protections for you. So it's completely understandable that people don't, know kind of what they need to put in place or why it's even important. So it's just kind of another one of those things of, being an entrepreneur. You're kind of, it's on you to do everything and you have to wear all the hats. And so legal is definitely another thing that just needs to make sure that's taken care of too.
And I love you guys' company name too. It's just like it's so perfect. It's like very nichey but catchy, easy to remember, and totally like flies exactly with you guys' business and mission. And also it's like fun too.
Oh, thanks so much for that. Yeah, we tried very hard. We tried very hard to make legal fun and enjoyable and more relatable. So thanks
Yeah.
for that. We tried very hard to make it, catchy and fun and not stuffy feeling. So
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's not stuffy at all, which is, I think, what a lot of people relate to, attorneys and legal matters and stuff like that. So I think that that makes it so much easier because you guys are so approachable too, right?
yes, we definitely try to do that because, we work in a big law firm, we know how it can feel to, have attorneys in the suits and all the fancy offices and things like that. And we did not want to have that, feel for our business at all because we know for small businesses, you want to get to know the people that you're trusting to, help you with your legal protection. So we wanted to kind of show who we really are. And it's, definitely a much more laid back feel over here, which we both really, really enjoy.
Yeah, I love that so much. So let's talk a little bit about some of the scary stuff. What is the most common legal mistakes or mishaps that you see entrepreneurs make when they're first starting out, or even long-term ones that just really have no idea that they're doing it?
Yeah. So I think kind of the first kind of, I'd say like a mishap or just a misstep that people make is kind of waiting to get their legal protection in place until a certain time. So we have a lot of people that, say, I'm going to wait until I start making X dollars in revenue, or I really want to have seen, 20 clients or something like that before I get my legal protection in place. People, I think, kind of view it as like a, icing on the cake, or like once I get big enough, I'll eventually need to look into this. But we find for a lot of the people that we work with that it really just kind of has this subconscious, fear in their head, like a little bit of the legal scaries, like you mentioned, where you're kind of holding yourself back. You're thinking, maybe I shouldn't grow too much until I get that into place. I'm just kind of testing the waters with things now. And we just see that, being a subconscious kind of fear and a roadblock for people that does not need to be there. And I think when you finally do get legally protected, you're just so much more confident because being an entrepreneur is a very vulnerable, thing to do, right? You're sharing your life story. You're probably sharing some sort of hardship you went through, with the world. And then you're also kind of putting yourself out there. You're sticking your neck out there, to have this business. And you want to make sure that you're protected, that your, personal savings account is protected, that if something did come up in your business, you have done everything you can to try to reduce that risk, right? And to really just make sure your business can sustain it for the long run and that your personal assets are not going to be, at risk. So that's kind of the most common mistake we see is just people getting really caught up and worried about, kind of when is the right time, to get protected. And, just kind of knowing too that legal protection, as amazing as it is, it cannot extend to things that happened in the past. So, if you are just getting started, you want to pursue this business, but you're, just kind of getting started taking clients, so perhaps that's maybe the time when you may not have all of your protocols figured out, or your procedures. And maybe it's even the time that there may be, more potential for something to come up, in your business. And so just kind of knowing that you can only protect future acts and kind of having having that in mind when you're working on your business, and just going ahead and getting it taken care of can just make things so much easier and so much more, confident and peace in your business. And you can grow, and don't have to kind of worry about, opening yourself up to more liability as you grow, because you've been protected from day one. So I think that's probably one of the biggest kind of mistakes we say made.
Just waiting way too long to get started in the protection.
Yes, I think so.
And talking about, the protection that people are not putting in place in the beginning, what is the very basic non-negotiable legal protection that people should have?
Yeah, so kind of Kelly and I like to talk about three different kind of pillars of your legal protection strategy. So the first one is going to be forming some sort of legal entity. So that is something like a limited liability company, an LLC. You may have heard of partnerships or corporations, depending upon where you're located. In terms of if you're outside the U.S., they can be called different things, right? But they all kind of have similar protections and similar things they can help you with in your business. So for most online entrepreneurs in the US, if you were just a solo entrepreneur, it's just you owning your business, a limited liability company is generally going to be a great choice of legal entity. We do always recommend people speak with their accountant or their attorney if they have one, to make sure they're kind of making the right choice in terms of a legal entity. But LLC here in the US is a really popular one, but they all kind of offer similar protections. And the biggest kind of plus of having one, of going through those steps to go ahead and get your legal entity in place, is that you're going to kind of create this fence around your personal assets. So if there, say there was a liability that came up in your business, you had something go wrong, with a client you worked with, and they were to sue you, you would have that peace of mind that your personal assets are not at risk. So your personal savings account, all the things you have worked so hard to create for yourself and your family, is not at risk. So it's only your business assets. So what's in your business bank account, right? If you have any other kind of assets in your business. So that just gives a ton of peace of mind for people, because you kind of know you're going to be protected at the end of the day. If you have this kind of legal entity protection in place, it just does so much for confidence and just really kind of sleeping easy at night and having that peace of mind that's so important. And then kind of once that, legal entity is set up, having contracts that are specific to your industry, that are specific to the type of offering you have, is also really important. That's kind of another mishap we see sometimes happen, is that we'll have, people come to us and they've got one contract that they've been using for their one-on-one coaching, program. They've got the same contract they're using in their group coaching program, and they've got the same one they're using for their course. And that's just difficult, because in this online world, there are all different types of offerings. We have people that do memberships, the courses, group coaching, one-on-one coaching, and there are really different legal issues and legal considerations that go into each one of those different types of offerings. There are even different ways you want people to kind of sign those contracts and the different types of offerings. So making sure you have those offering specific documents in place is really important, to make sure that they really capture what could happen in those types of settings, because it is different. But contracts are just amazing. They can help you align expectations with your customers and your clients, which is also fantastic. Just kind of reduces the risk that something would even come up in the first place, because you have that really clear understanding of what they're going to get when they work with you, what your expectations are of them. All of that is just laid out very clearly in your contract. So I think a lot of times that is another huge benefit of having a contract, is it just reduces the chances of something, a dispute even coming up, because everything is clearly written. You've clearly agreed to it. You can oftentimes just point back to the contract provision. It can kind of be the bad guy for you, and, just blame it on the contract. So that is another huge thing, getting your LLC, like I mentioned, your legal entity formed, and then having those really industry specific contracts in place. And then the third thing that we'd love to see business owners get in place is also business insurance, because Depending on your industry, there are different types of insurance that may be appropriate for you, but it can kind of just fill in the holes of any kind of cracks you may have for your legal protection. And one of the biggest things it can help you do is if you were to have a suit come up, oftentimes it's going to be able to pay for the attorney's fees, right? So you're not coming out of pocket, even if your contract eventually is going to let you recover those attorney's fees as you're going through that litigation or arbitration, whatever it may be, it's going to cover that for you. So having those defense costs covered is huge because it can quickly add up. We know of a business owner who is in this space. She's actually a coach for health and wellness professionals, and she did have a dispute come up in her business. And, she, didn't have the insurance in place, and it was hundreds of thousands of dollars, unfortunately, that she was paying. And most of it was just legal fees, which is terrible. And I hate that about the legal industry. But another reason why having business insurance in place and working with a broker, oftentimes you can just reach out to your auto insurance broker, whoever maybe you work with, and say, hey, this is the type of insurance I'm looking for. Do you know of someone who can help me find this? And being really transparent about how you run your business can really help you get that insurance in place that can kind of help you, in those crazy scenarios that may come up where you may get sued. It's just a really nice kind of a bow on top of everything to make sure you have that full protection in place.
Yeah. And, now we're all scared of arbitration. No, but seriously, it is so important to have that protection there so that everything isn't as scary, right?
Completely.
I did want to mention too, when you're talking about LLC is that I see a lot of people in the creative world, they get really hung up on creating, a business formality of an LLC or, any type of company. And I think that they get really hung up on creating like the name part of it and stuff. But something that everybody should really know is that depending on what type of business entity you set up, you can have a DBA and you can, run your business as your, regular name, as, a company name or, anything of doing your business as too. So I just wanted to mention that because as creatives, they get really stuck on having to be in one lane with their business and stuff. So that way, if they come up with courses and stuff and they're using that as their business, they could always add that in as doing business as too.
Totally. Yes. That's such a good point. And I think takes some of the pressure off of, like you mentioned, your name, because like you mentioned, you can have DBAs and you may want to have different DBAs that kind of go along with like different lines of your business, depending on what type of business you have. So that's, such a great point. Can kind of take the pressure off too of coming up with a name, because there's a lot that goes into a name. You got to make sure it's available with your state. You've got to make sure, there's not a registered trademark already with that. And so with all of the, things you need to worry about, at least that's, not one of them. You can, use a DBA and that can help you just kind of have that peace of mind. You've got some flexibility there too.
Yeah, exactly. You can just, kind of create that umbrella and then put everything underneath it. And it's a little bit easier that way, I think. I think you kind of already answered this question a little bit, but I mean, I'm assuming that there's no like bad time to start. Like everybody should have started yesterday, of course, but at the very least, they should start now in protecting their business, right?
Yes, definitely. We always like to, remind people like as long as you plan to, continue your business, which I'm sure you do if you're listening to this podcast, to grow your business, even if you've been in business for 10 years, getting legally protected is going to help you so much, because I'm sure you're listening to this because you want to grow your business. You have big plans for it. You have exciting things coming up. So, definitely don't want to like discourage people from doing it. If you have, kind of maybe you've used a contract that you got from your training organization like 10 years ago, you've just been using that. It's definitely never too late. and, you get your contracts in place, and it's going to help your business grow, because you're just going to have that extra confidence that you've gotten this taken care of. You've kind of checked all the boxes. In our programs, we have a really comprehensive checklist and things for you to just make sure that you feel really confident. You've got all the steps in place. You've done everything you need to do. We just see that do so much for people's confidence and really helps them get their business out there and feel really confident, kind of amplifying their message and not holding themselves back. So I think definitely, it's never too late for sure. And, now is always a good time. If you're thinking about getting legally protected, it's always a good time just to go ahead and get it taken care of in place, and get it behind you. So
Yeah. Better now than never, I guess. Right.
yes, definitely.
So can you tell us a little bit about, what the products are and what the services are that you guys have in your businesses, what everybody can get from you if they were to reach out or visit your website, which is beautiful, by the way. Everybody needs to go check out their website. We will definitely be dropping the links for Dotted Line's website, as well as their freebie that they have as well.
Awesome. Yes, would love to share a little more. So, like just mentioned, we have a great kind of free guide. This is a great place to start if you're just looking to learn more about legal protection. If you're trying to figure out, okay, what do I even need to get legally protected? We have a kind of 15-step guide, which sounds like a lot, but it really hits all of the high points in terms of things you need to think about when you're just getting started, or if you've been in business for a while and you're trying to figure out what type of contract you need for a type of offering. We go into business insurance. You can all, find that on the guide, and it's available on our website. And I think Jess also will have a link for you guys if you want to check that out. I think it's really, really helpful for those of you, especially who are visual learners who want to like sit down and read it. It's really great and really comprehensive. And then in terms of kind of how we work with people here, so, as you mentioned, we do not provide any kind of, attorney-client relationship. We don't give legal advice through Dotted Line. So, nothing in this podcast is legal advice. We always recommend that people, work with a local attorney if they have specific questions for their business. So everything we do is really education oriented and helping you feel really empowered to get legal protection in place through, we have contract templates that are really tailored to this industry. So if you especially are a coach, whether you're a business coach or you're a health and wellness coach or you're other type of health and wellness professional running an online business, maybe you're even a life coach, we have very specific documents, drafted for these type of businesses. And, we have templates really that are for all different types of offerings, whether it's a course or one-on-one coaching or group coaching. And all of our templates come with a video tutorial where Kelly or myself walk you through every single line of the contract. We explain what it means. So when you get questions on it, you can answer it confidently. And then, you can also get it filled out quickly for your business, because we've kind of gone over what you'll need to include in the contract template. And then we do a lot of legal education here as well. So a big part of our program that we have called the Legally Ready Bundle is about legal education. So it's really making sure that entrepreneurs have at their fingertips all of the really specific, industry specific, legal knowledge that they need to run their business. So you're not spending your time Googling different things, wondering if this even applies to you. And then we do monthly Q&As in that program too, which is a great place for us to kind of learn from each other. You can hear other people's questions. And I think it's just a great learning opportunity. And then we are there to kind of provide resources and feedback. And so you get access to that for 6 months too in our program. So just, it's a really kind of fun community. We try to make the legal side of protecting your business fun and enjoyable and very approachable and easy to put in place. So we love serving this community and would love to have you check out our free resource. You can always email us too if you have questions. My email address is support@dottedlinesco.com. But yeah, I hope that's really helpful for everyone. I hope you'll take advantage of it. We get really great feedback on it. So we'd love to have you check it out.
Kristen, can we just jump back a little bit and talk about the videos that you guys do for your contracts? That is amazing, because I know, other people are getting templates from God knows where, online, and they're just getting them, and that's it. But I mean, for you guys to have videos that go line by line and basically hold our hands to help us know what we're doing is so phenomenal.
Oh, thanks for that. Yes, we really wanted it to, for you to take ownership of this and to feel like, you didn't just download something and have no idea what it says, which we've, heard from people in our program. They've had previous contracts and they didn't even know, what was in them. They didn't feel confident about it, but we really kind of walk you through every line. And then there's different things that, we want you to kind of take into consideration for your business, like refund policies and payment plans. And we kind of talk through the pros and cons of different types of them and other types of things. We have all that kind of language in our contracts already for different options. So we really wanted to make it like very customizable for you to take it and, do with it what you need for your business and to feel really confident you actually know what's in it too, because inevitably you'll probably get a question from a client or a customer. We want you to feel really confident answering those questions too.
And also in your community, you guys have a lot of like guest experts join and do like master classes and stuff, because I am going to be joining you in later September to be doing a time management productivity get together, right?
Yes, we're so excited to have you. It'll be so fun. And we'd love to kind of, have people come in and, get, as we know that you guys, are all looking to grow your business. So we want to kind of help you in as much as we can. So we bring in experts like Jess to come in and talk about time management strategies. And we have people talk about marketing and, all different types of things that are kind of applicable to these types of online businesses. So we love that it's like really becoming this community and, having these additional resources. It's just a really fun way for us to kind of help you as much as possible. So it's been really fun.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you guys really do bring, that fun, lighthearted, you know, um, part to this kind of business that can be very scary and people overlook. So I think it makes everybody feel a little bit more comfortable and easy to connect with you guys about this stuff that is really important that people, just end up putting on the back burner.
Definitely. No, thanks for that. We appreciate that feedback. And like I said, we always want to make it fun. So I know legal is, a more boring part of your business, but we really try to make it as enjoyable as possible to put in place and as, painless as possible too. So
Yes,
always
I think
that.
you guys definitely nailed that all the way around, I think. That's my opinion, but I think you guys do an amazing job at that. Before we go, is there any last tips that you want to provide? And then also, can you let everybody know how they can connect with you? We will also have all your links and everything in the episode, but just let everybody who does catch it by ears where they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess the only thing I'd provide or, mention is just, legal can seem really scary. Like I mentioned, can seem really like time consuming to put into place, really confusing, but I assure you that it does not have to be that way. And that's definitely, our ultimate goal here is to help it to be really easy to put in place. We've had people say it's been so seamless and just really a, easy thing to get taken care of. So would love to have you, like I mentioned, download our free resource, check out our website. A great place to find us is on Instagram. We're pretty active there, try to share a lot of legal tips there. And so you can check us out at Dotted Lines Contracts. And then our website is dottedlinesco.com. You can absolutely check us out there as well and get that free resource. We'd love to have you in our community. We're always sharing lots of new, more in-depth dives into legal topics through our email community too. So would love to have you as part of that.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Kristen, for joining me today. You have provided such a wealth of knowledge and really made everything just so much more comfortable and given everybody some tips on how they can get started today on protecting their business.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for having me, Jess. And I'm looking forward to you speaking to our group too here pretty soon. So thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely. And for everyone else, we'll drop the links for how you can find us next month when we connect together about our time management productivity masterclass. So we will see everybody next time. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.